Hi guys, today we'll see Java introduction. Here we'll cover what is Java, the various applications that can be developed using the Java programming language and what is the execution process of the Java. Let us start understanding these concepts one by one. Okay. So, what is Java? Java is high-level, secure and robust object-oriented programming language, and it is called as platform-independent language. So, why it is called the platform-independent language? We'll study it in a minute. Since the Java has the runtime environment, that is Java runtime environment JRE and API, it can be run in any of the hardware and software environment. So, various applications that can be developed using the Java are desktop applications such as Acrobat Reader, Media Player, Antivirus, web applications such as irctc.co.in and embedded systems, mobile systems, smart cards, games, robotics, banking applications. These are the some of the Java applications. Next one is Java applications, like mainly four types of the applications can be developed using the Java programs. What are those? First one is standalone applications. So the desktop applications which are called as a standalone applications, and these are also called as Windows based applications. So AWT and the swings are used in Java for creating these applications. So what are AWT and swing in Java? We will study it in later. The best example for the standalone applications are Media Player and Antivirus. Second one is web applications. The applications which will run in the server side and creating the dynamic web pages is called the web applications. The best example these applications can be developed by using the Servlet, JSF, Hibernate, Spring, Struts, JSP technologies are used for creating the web applications. Third one is enterprise applications. The applications which are distributed in the nature. Best example is banking system are called enterprise applications. So these applications are being developed by using the Java. Why? Because Java is very high level security and load balancing and clustering features are there. That's why these applications have been developed by using the Java. In Java, EJB is used for creating the enterprise applications. In detail about the EJB, we will study it in later class. Next one is mobile applications. So applications which are created for mobile devices. So best example, Android and the Java ME is used for creating the mobile applications. So this is about the Java, what is Java and various applications that we can develop by using the Java. Next one is the Java compilation, that is the execution process of the Java. So Java, let us start understanding how the execution of the Java programs will be takes place. Java comprises of the compiler and interpreter. So compiler will be used at the compile time and the interpreter will be used at the runtime. How the execution will be takes place at the compile time? Let us start understanding. So here, this is the compile time execution of the Java and this is the runtime execution of the Java. This diagram. So first start with the small diagram where the execution of the Java takes place at compile time. First, you will write the Java program, that is the Java code, by opening the editor. So by opening the editor you will type the Java program. Next, and that file will be stored as the file name dot extension, that is dot Java. Just an example, XYZ is our file name and it will be stored as xyz.java. Next is invoking the compiler for compilation of the Java code. So when you will invoke the compiler by typing the javac followed by the file name .java in command line, it will invoke the compiler. If any errors are there in your Java code, the execution will be takes place. If there are no errors, the compiler will convert this Java code into the class files, and these class files will contain the byte codes. These byte codes where the human beings can't understand, can't read, but the machines can understand these programs. So output of the Java compiler and the compilation is from the Java code to the class files. So this is what happening in the compile time execution of the Java. Next one is runtime execution of the Java. So runtime, if you want to execute the Java program during the runtime, you will type the Java followed by the file name in the command line. Suppose if you are making use of the BlueJ environment, then you will select the Java, select the class, whatever the class that you have created, right click and open the execution. That is, the execution will be start from the main. We have seen it in the many programs, how we have done it in the BlueJ environment. Now time being, let us consider you are typing the in the command line as a Java followed by the file name. The execution so will be takes place at the runtime. So during the runtime, the interpreter will be invoked. Before invoking the interpreter, so it will whatever the files, that is class files what you have created, it will be loaded into the memory which is present inside the JVM. So when you type the Java followed by the file name, means you are invoking the interpreter. So means that internally it will calling the Java virtual machine. So in detail working of the JVM will study it in later. The first what will happens, the class loader it will invoke. The class loader is a program which loads the .class files, that is the byte codes, into the memory. So these .class files can be stored it in the either in the network or it in the hard disk. So these class will be stored into the memory by using the class loader, which is a part of Java virtual machine. Next one, bytecode verifier. The bytecode verifier is again it's a program of the JVM which verifies the bugs inside the bytecodes. Whether the means what, the bytecodes which are transferred, which are loaded into the memory is valid or not, if any bugs are there or not. If any bugs are there, the loading will not be takes place. It will throw some errors. If it is properly, if no errors, then that verified bytecodes will be transferred into the either interpreter or to the JIT. That is the JIT is just-in-time compiler. So depending on the certain condition, it will be transferred either to the interpreter or the just-in-time compiler. So all these things are happening inside the Java virtual machine. So next, let us assume the bytecode verifier is verified the bytecodes and it is transferred to the interpreter. So interpreter, it will be present inside the JVM and interpreter will do the analysis of the lines of code. So like actually here Java is comprised of the compiler also and interpreter also. So the main difference between the compiler and the interpreter is the compiler will compile the entire lines of a code, means entire program it will compile and convert into the .class files, whereas the interpreter will interpret the line by line bytecodes. It will not wait for the entire program to complete. It will take the one line of a code of the bytecode and analyze it, then transfer into the OS for the next process of execution. So it will not wait entire program to complete. So now bytecode verifier is done its work. Next it will transfer to the interpreter. Interpreter, as I told, interpreter will interpret the each lines of the bytecodes one by one for bugs. Next it will transfer into the OS for the further execution. Next the output will be displayed on the depending on the whether if output will be displayed on the whether if you want to display it on the command line or if you are using the Windows, it will be displayed on the graphical user interface. So actually what I mentioned here, OS, that is the operating system. These operating systems can be like a Linux operating system, Mac operating system and Windows operating system. How these operating systems will be varies, the JVM is also varies. So JVM, JRE, JDK are they are not portable, but the bytecode is a portable. So that's why these bytecodes can be run on any of the hardware or the software environment. That's why Java is called as the platform independent. Okay, once the bytecode is been generated by the compiler, these bytecode can be run on any of the operating system. So this is actually the entire execution process of the Java. Next one is, as I told, just-in-time compiler. Let us start understanding what is this just-in-time compiler. So the compilation process will be like at compile time, edit, that is by opening the editor, program will write the Java program and the Java programs will be having an extension called filename.java. Example xyz.java. Then compile. Here the programmer type the javac command in the command line. If the Java programs are executing in the BlueJ environment, the programmer select the compiler which converts the .java files into the bytecode, which is the language understood by the Java virtual machine. Next, if no errors, compiler will generate the .class files. And the runtime will be like class loader. The class loader is a program which present inside the JVM and the .class file which contains the bytecodes. Bytecodes loaded into the memory using the class loader. These bytecode files can be loaded from the hard disk or from the network. Then bytecode verifier is a program is used to check the errors inside the bytecode. Interpreter or the JIT. After bytecode verification is done, this bytecode will be transferred to the interpreter or the JIT depending on the certain conditions. Interpreter will interpret the line by line code in the .class file. Next to the OS, the interpreted code will be transferred to the OS underlying hardware, execute the files. These OS can be Windows, Mac, Linux operating system. Depending upon the type of OS, the JVM will also be varies. JVM is not portable, but bytecode is portable. Output will be displayed on the screen either on the console environment or GUI environment depending on the requirement. This is about the Java compilation process or the Java execution process. Next one. So just-in-time compiler. So as I told, once the bytecode verifier is verify the bytecodes, then those bytecodes will be transferred either to the interpreter or to the just-in-time compiler. So just-in-time compiler is a special type of a compiler which will be invoked in the JVM if you are having the huge lines of a code, and it will be called just before the interpreter. That's why it is called as a just-in-time compiler. Let us start understanding when it will be invoked. Let us consider two cases. Okay, case 1 and case 2. Case 1 is having the 5 lines of a code and the name of the file will be xyz.class. Another is case 2, same file, but here in the first case we are not going to make use of the just-in-time compiler, but in the second case the just-in-time compiler will be invoked. So what is the benefit of invoking the just-in-time compiler? We'll study it when we are studying the case 2. Let us start the first case. We are having the 5 lines of a code like A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6, print A, B7, B7. These are the 5 lines of the code. When it is when the interpreter is being invoked, what the interpreter will do? First it will take the first lines of a code and analyze the first lines of the code and send it to the OS for the further execution. Second line it will take an analysis will be done by the interpreter and send it to the send it for the OS for the further execution. Similar for the third line and similar for the fourth and fifth line. You might observe that the last 2 lines they are repeating. These are duplicated lines, that is B is equal to 7 and B is equal to 7. 2 times they are repeated. So these can be mistaken by the programmer. By mistakenly you might have done it. So but the interpreter will not understand this. Here the smart compilation will not be done by the interpreter. Whatever the lines of codes are there in the program, those lines of code will be analyzed by the interpreter and transferred to the next OS for the further execution. See, a same output will be there. Okay, here only few lines of code is there. Then if it is repeating also, not much memory will be wasted. But if you are having the 1000 lines of a code, then such kind of a problems are happen. Simply it's a time like consuming the more time and also the consuming the memory also. So in order to overcome these drawback, we'll see how the JIT compiler will be used here. See, same program, consider same lines of code here. So first, instead of transferring directly to the interpreter, the JIT-in-time compiler will be invoked. And the JIT-in-time, that is called as the JIT means just-in-time. Just-in-time compiler will be called just before the interpreter. So what is the task of the just-in-time compiler is? So as it is a compiler, the compiler will take the entire lines of a code at once and analyze those lines of a code. If you are having the 5 lines of a code, the JIT compiler will take all the 5 lines of code and analysis will be done. So it will see that internally it will see there are some of the duplications. Then those lines of code will be excluded. Those lines of code will be excluded and it will be sent to the interpreter for further execution. So but whatever the lines of code they are excluded by the JIT, that is just in time, those lines of that action, that activity, that task will not be knowing about the interpreter. This interpreter will not be knowing the task which is performed by the JIT. So it will take entire lines of a code and it will do the analysis. If any errors are there, of any of the duplications are there, any duplications are there, and that is there will be those lines of code will be excluded and it will be transferred to the interpreter for the further execution. So JIT will do the smart compilation here. Then again the interpreter will interpret each lines of a code one by one and it will transfer to the OS for further execution. So JIT will it will do the optimizing of the code will be done by the JIT and also the smart compilation will be done by the JIT here. And this JIT will not be invoked every time. JIT will be invoked whenever the huge lines of the code we need to be executed, then the just-in-time compiler will be used. So this is about the execution, the execution of the Java programs using in the JIT, that the just-in-time compiler. So, just-in-time compiler, the smart compilation is not done by the interpreter. If you are having the 1000 lines of a code, as I explained already, you have seen it will, if any duplications are there in the program, just it will not identify those duplications, but it will not exclude any of the duplicated lines of code. Just it will interpret and it will transfer to the next lines of for the execution process. Interpreter will consume the space and do the repetition of work. So just-in-time is a special compiler which will be invoked when the program contains the huge lines of code. And just-in-time compiler will be invoked just before the interpreter to start the work. That's why it is called just-in-time compiler. JIT compiler will analyze the entire program before the pass into the interpreter, and it will be excluded the duplicated lines of code. It will optimize our work, and it will also do the fast working also. Thank you. Kindly subscribe and like our channel for further more videos. Thank you.